is good, YouTube? Quinn Wade Basketball Analysis coming to you on a quick video. I wanted to let you guys know I got some new merchandise available, not just t-shirt anymore. I got different type of t-shirt, different type of shirts and logos that you can purchase on my spread shirt, and also hoodies now. We have expanded and added more to the channel and more merchandise for the brand. Thanks for supporting. It will be in the description and the links will be in the comment section below. Thanks for helping me and supporting the movement. Quinn Wade Basketball Analysis. I'm going to check out the video. What's good, YouTube? Quinn Wade Basketball Analysis coming to y'all with another video. Today we're going to talk about Donovan Mitchell being probably an all-star this year. I think Donovan Mitchell been having a quiet season. Last year, he was a talk of a lot of the media and a lot of the people. People were surprised of how good he was. He took the NBA by storm, and he really made a name for himself. Last year, even coming so close to becoming the Rookie of the Year when he came out of nowhere and then consistently had built upon that season and ended up having one of the better seasons for the rookies. Especially of that class. Obviously, Ben Simmons was from a different class, and he ended up winning. I actually voted for Donovan Mitchell for Rookie of the Year, and I still stand on that, even though he didn't win. It is what it is, but Donovan Mitchell made a name for himself. He helped Utah make it back to the playoffs, and he helped them get out of the first round. He was able to get them 20 points on 43% from the field, 34 from three. He was a 80% free throw shooter, 3 rebounds, 3 assists. And that was very impressive, especially because he came off the bench and he wasn't getting that much playing time and to build up all over. Like learning how to play the NBA, learning the lifestyle, learning your teammates. Now you playing with a whole different lineup. Then remember Rudy Gobert comes back. Then they go on a bigger run with Rudy Gobert, but you had to learn how to play with him. For him to go through all those different experiences and still be able to be a professional, still be able to go out there and play hard and try to give it his all, even though he's still learning and trying to understand the game. He just went out there, had fun, and played basketball, and he was exciting to watch. It was fun to watch him take over games and take over fourth quarters and show that he has an old man mind, and you need that, especially when you don't have as much experience like he didn't. And he's an undersized shooting guard because most shooting guards 6'5" and 6. Well, I'll say 6'4" to about 6'7". And especially in the Western Conference, you have a lot of bigger shooting guards down there. But he's already at a disadvantage for that. And at the end of the day, I like that he played with a lot of heart and he played with a lot of fight, and he had played like he had nothing to lose. And I think that that's what made his season so special, is that he wasn't scared of missing. He wasn't scared of embarrassing himself. He wasn't scared of missing 5 shots in a row. He was just trying to go out there and be aggressive and try to make sure he was getting off shots that he was comfortable with. Yeah, he forced some shots, but who doesn't? When you get that much freedom, you do get a little bit cocky. You do get a little bit, egotistical a little bit, or you be feeling yourself a little bit, and you can get a little overconfident, and that's why his field goal percentage wasn't that good, because he's a decent shooter. He's not a great shooter, and you see that this year too. One thing I thought he would needed to improve on going into this year was his jump shot. His stop and pop, pull up jumper, his ability to shoot threes consistently, not just off the dribble, but as a catch and shoot player. I thought he could get better at that, and I haven't really seen too much different this year, and that's the sad part. Donovan Mitchell is kind of repeating the season that he had last year, and even though that's not a bad thing because it was a good season, I thought that Donovan Mitchell would be fighting to be a top 3 shooting guard in the NBA. I thought he'd be fighting to be an all-star this year, and even with his month averaging 27 points a game, and that's a lot of points, but I still feel like Donovan Mitchell could have still had a better year, and he is playing better as of late. Like I said, he's averaging 27 points a game in January on 48%, 45% shooting from the field, 42% from 3, and 84 from the free throw line. He's also getting 4 rebounds and 5 assists per game, and that's mostly because they need him to do more because Ricky Rubio is out with an injury, and they need him to be the primary ball handler, and they need him to continue to attack to put pressure on the defense, and keep them honest. And when you're surrounded by players like Kyle Korver, Jay Crowder, and obviously Joe Ingles, you really can't help off Donovan Mitchell, which gives him even more power to get to the paint, which he's good at finishing with dunks and finishing around the rim. And that helps him not have to settle for jump shots. And I think his strongest asset is the mid-range game. I think he still struggles, and he's having a terrible season this year. From three, he just now starting to figure it out from the three-point line. But I think that's something that I told you guys last year. I think Donovan Mitchell should be the point guard, not just because he's 6'3", and that's basically the average point guard nowadays, but the fact that he's best with the ball in his hands. And I know that, you don't want to put too much on Donovan Mitchell, but when you look at the lineups and you look at how the roster plays, they need more space. They need more shooting because Rudy Gobert can't shoot. And he needs spacing so he can be rolling to the rim, so he can get easy opportunities. And the best way to do that is stretch out the whole floor. And when you put out them type of lineups with guys that can play defense and they can also play multiple positions, and you got a center that can switch on any guard or any forward and still guard centers, that makes you a lot more versatile. And we're starting to see that right now, that this team is harder to guard, and they was really struggling to score points. They was really struggling to get buckets. And Ricky Rubio, he's a solid point guard, but when you have the type of size and the type of length and the type of shooting that they have at those positions, you expect more. And I think we're starting to get the Donovan Mitchell that we thought would be this year, because he had another year of experience. He understands the game. He's seen how they was guarding him. He's seen how the scouting report scouts him. So he's not really figuring out anything new because he played majority of the last year in the playoffs and halfway through the season. He's seen a lot of this stuff, and you would think that he'd become more prepared and he'd be ready for whatever's next. And I don't feel like he came into this season hungry. I don't feel like he came into this season wanting to prove himself. It just seemed like he came with the same mentality of nothing to lose, but you have something to lose. You're no longer unknown. You're a guy that people prepare for. You're a guy that people game plan for. You're a guy that they want to stop. And I feel like he wasn't really forcing nothing. He was just going out there and trying to do enough. And, you're not going to be an all NBA All-Star player just putting up decent numbers. He's giving you 20 points a game, but that's not enough to be one of the best shooting guards in the league, because a majority of the shooting guards average over 25 points a game. And for you to come into a season shooting 42 from the field, 32 from three, but also just getting 3 rebounds and 3 assists, you did that last year. And the only difference is he's averaging more points, but he's taking 2 more shots a game. He averaged 17 shots a game last year, and this year he shoot 19 shots. You would think that he'd have that aggressive mentality out the gate, and I feel like he played safe this whole entire year, which was a little shocking because he seemed like he was ready for whatever was next, especially after having a disappointing series against the Houston Rockets, where he kind of embarrassed himself and he wasn't really playing that well as a playmaker and decision maker, which I kind of understand because he wasn't used to handling the ball that much and making decisions, especially against an elite level defensive team like the Rockets was at that time. Plus, they had the size and the length to really match up with him well. So you would think that he'd come back with a different mentality after losing in the playoffs. You would think he'd be hurt. You would think he'd be hungrier. You would think that he'd come out with some type of vengeance type of season. And he just came out and just played like Donovan Mitchell. He didn't play any better. He didn't play really that much worse. He just didn't play to the expectations that, I thought he was set out for himself. And this year is like he should be an all-star. Like Utah should be in the playoffs. Utah should be one of the better teams because they was one of them last year. Even though they did, come on strong at the end, we still felt like Utah was going to make the playoffs all along. And they still might make the playoffs this year, but Donovan Mitchell is not even an all-star caliber player, and I was shocked. I thought that he at least give you 25 points a game and really be the leading dominant player on Utah, but he really been inconsistent in a mixed bag all year. If it wasn't for this January, he wouldn't even be considered as an all-star, but his January has been so spectacular, and the fact that the Jazz is back winning, that changed how the season and how we feel about him. Because if they can continue playing like this for the rest of the season, it's going to be hard for us not to, give Donovan Mitchell a little bit of credit. But to me, he has played solid all year, and that's what disappointed me the most this year. As I expected more out of Donovan Mitchell, I wanted more out of him, and I thought that he wanted more. Like I said, coming off that loss against Houston, it seemed like it really got to him, and he really felt disappointed in himself. And I didn't see him come attack the season like a guy that wanted to show the world what he can bring to the table. He had an excellent rookie season, but his sophomore season is actually arguably worse, and I was surprised by that. And I'm still disappointed, but he still got a couple more months to fix it. But it shouldn't have to take you into half of the season, because it's already half of the season, to start to figure it out. And that's basically what he has done. He just had one great month so far out of the whole year. He's been solid, but I expected a lot more out of Donovan Mitchell. So let me know what you guys think. Should Donovan Mitchell be rewarded as an All-Star if they make it to the play? If they have a playoff team by the time the All-Star voting is done? Do you think that Donovan Mitchell has played good enough to be an All-Star? That's the only thing I want to ask you guys. Is you disappointed in Donovan Mitchell? Do you expect more out of Donovan Mitchell? Are you disappointed that his jump shot hasn't got that much better? His scoring ability hasn't took a huge leap. His playmaking ability still is subpar. Are you disappointed with the growth of Donovan Mitchell? The expectation, was he disappointed? Like I told you, I feel like my Celtics is the most disappointing team this year, coming off the year that they had last year. But I think Donovan Mitchell is probably the most disappointing player for me, because I expected a lot more out of him this year. And it's actually kind of sad for me even to make this video, because I was so hyped of him. I was so proud for him. I was so happy for him. And I wanted him to win Rookie of the Year, and to come back and have this type of season where I don't really see any improvements at all, kind of just make you feel like, wow, what can you do? It's his season. It's his career. He might not even get no hardware. Like, he didn't get Rookie of the Year. You'll think that he'll try to come back and be an All-Star, be an All-NBA player or something. And to me, he makes no awards. So he just comes back and has a solid year, but he might not even get no hardware this year. And I didn't really see that coming until I started seeing how he played the first 3 months. So let me know what you guys think. Is you disappointed in Donovan Mitchell? Would you expect him more? Or do you think we sleeping on Donovan Mitchell? At the end of the day, check out my website, analysisplayground.com. Link in the description, comment section below. Check out my Facebook page, analysisplayground.com. Link in the description, comment section below. Like on Facebook to show support. Also, check out my spread shirt. That'll be in the comment section in the description. I enjoy making these videos. You guys enjoy watching. That's why I continue to go. I make videos just like these, trades, all types of NBA videos. I make video 365. I try not to miss a day. If you like this video, check out my older videos. I do breakdowns. I cover the trade deadline, the buyouts, the NBA draft, I preview the season. I do all things NBA. Try to do a 365. 7 days a week, and I try to give you guys content that you will like. So at the end of the day, you can recommend videos. Quinn Wade Basketball Analysis, I'm gone. And let me know what you guys think about Donovan Mitchell, and continue to support the channel. Thanks.